Greetings, my name is Nisha and I'm a birth worker here in New York City. I'm also a CLE with a specialty in pump. And so today we're going to talk about all things pumping, and we're going to start with some of the reasons why you might want to implement a pump. There is such thing as exclusively pumping as a way of breastfeeding your baby, because pumping is breastfeeding. But some moms might need to implement a pump because baby is spending some time in the NICU, or their baby might be having some latch issues, might need a tongue tie revision, and implementing a pump can help protect your milk supply. So there are many different ways to express your breast milk, and we're going to start by talking about hand expression. And this is something that can be used with simply your hands and no additional tools. So if you want to hand express, and when you're ready to hand express, it's important to warm up your breast tissue. So I often recommend doing it after a shower, where you've had a warm shower, your breast tissue is very soft and malleable and ready for expression. If it's not after a shower, you can use a warm cloth around your breast for a few minutes, not too long. And sometimes you can use an electric massager I don't have here to help add some heat to your breast before you start to hand express. So let's just say you just took a shower, your breast tissue is nice and soft, and you can hold your breast in what's called a C cup or a U cup this way. And you want to gently massage when you're making these strokes to your breast. You want to do it very gently. It doesn't need to be deep into the tissue to be effective. You want to do it and put as much pressure as you would put on a baby's cheek. And how you're going to do it, so let's say we're going to do the U hold here. You want to start from right outside the areola, and you're going to press backwards gently, and then you're going to come forward towards the nipple. Not pinching the actual nipple, but around this way. You're going to push back softly and then bring it in towards the nipple. And we're going to do that a few times until we start to see some milk extraction or a letdown happen. And then you can switch hand holds and do it again the other way. Back gently and then forward towards the nipple. And that's how you can hand express. You can hand express in a bottle and be able to use that to feed your baby later on. And that's just one way of extracting milk from the breast without latching your baby. Now we're going to talk about a few other ways that you can express milk without nursing or latching your baby. And one of those ways that is second easiest would be implementing a handheld or manual pump. So this is what it could look like. There are many different brands on the market, but the mechanisms are the same. There isn't any electric, no batteries, no power, anything needed. It's just the manual pump that can be thrown in your bag, on the go, and your breast. And this specific one is a Medela brand, and it has, on the very tip, we have what looks like little droplets, and that's going to help us create a letdown. So you're going to start in that mode. And then when you see your milk starting to flow, we have what's like more of an expression mode here, and you pull down backwards. And it's pretty simple. When you're using a breast pump, you want to align the nipple to the middle of what's called the flange. So this breast shield here, you'll hear it called a breast shield or a flange. And you want to make sure that it's centered, and you can start suctioning that way. The great thing about the manual pump is that you control the strength. How hard you pull is how hard the suction will be. So that is something that most moms feel most comfortable with when starting to use a pump. Some things I would like to point out about using any pump that you would implement into your journey is correct flange sizing. When we're pumping, what we want is just the nipple going into the flange. If some or too much of the breast tissue enters the flange, you might experience discomfort and inadequate emptying of the breast. So milk is going to be left behind, which can cause a host of issues like clogged ducts and sorts. So it's important to size yourself before using any pump, whether that's a manual pump or a double electric pump. And how you would do that is you can get a nipple ruler, you're going to measure the size of your nipple, and it's going to give you a starting point to what flange size you should be using. Now, if you go online, you can buy what's called inserts. And so this is a 13 millimeter that I have in my hand. And what that's going to do is make this hole or tunnel a lot smaller. That's going to be properly fitted for my nipple. So this, if this was a human breast, this is a 13 millimeter nipple because I measured it. And this would be more appropriate than using what came in the box. So that's a little bit about flange sizes. This is a double electric pump. You're able to pump both breasts at the same time. We are able to put our tubings here and wear 2 flanges at the same time. This pump also has many features and many customizations, which is really great to find what your body responds to as it pertains to how fast and how strong a suction needs to be for you and your body. The next model is called a mobile pump. So most primary pumps have to be plugged into a wall and they're pretty big. This is a mobile pump. This can be thrown in your purse. This particular brand, which is the Pumpables Genie Advance, comes with a clip so moms can clip it on their shirt, their pants, and be able to pump with it. You can hook up your traditional flanges to here, so you're able to put your 2 tubings and wear your flanges with this pump. This is a brand that I like more because it has many customizations, which is really hard to find in a mobile pump. Because it's so small, they can't jam pack it with all of these amazing features. And sometimes we need those extra features for our body to respond to that pump. So if you find a mobile pump that has many different cycle speeds and vacuums, that means that you have more options to choose from to find what your body is going to respond to. So this is what a mobile pump is anything that really fits in the palm of your hand. It's considered a mobile pump. And lastly, which I don't have a model here for, but you probably see it on social media or mom groups, is wearable pumps that sit in your bra, and the battery is attached. The battery and the motor is attached to the pump itself. And those are wearable pumps, and those are not gonna be traditional flanges. They will be cups. And so sometimes people don't respond well to the cups and will need traditional flanges. Whether you choose to implement a pump or not, you have to find what your body responds to. So some people have really great success with wearable pumps. Others need to get back to basics and use their primary with flanges. I definitely recommend working with not only a lactation specialist, but someone that also understands and has experience with pumping. So definitely ask your lactation consultant what are their expertise in pumping to make sure you have the great success with implementing a pump, however often in your breastfeeding journey.